Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me Pixella, and today we have another Inzoi build. Now the idea behind this is there is this Zoe couple that were kind of on a budget, so what they decided to do is to go ahead and purchase their first land instead of buying a pre-built house. So they went all out and bought this big old piece of land and then decided that for their first home, because they kind of ran out of money, they were gonna have a tiny house with some containers. Now, obviously, the idea is as their family expands and hopefully as they save up enough money, they will be able to completely gut these containers and build a proper house on this land. Now, for that reason, it is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but it is still pretty spacious because they use 3 containers, so 2 at the bottom and 1 on top. Now, instead of having a backyard, because that will remain untouched until further notice, they only have a little front yard. The look the Zois were going for was a modern look, but again, since they are on a budget, it's nothing too overcomplicated, so we kept it simple with some, as you can see, they're not the most modern windows, they're basic white windows with some shutters. We tried to put as many as possible just to make sure the space feels big, although it is small. For the interior, we are starting off with some plain white walls and building it from there on, and with some wooden floor. Now, obviously, since this is a very small space, there's no space for actual stairs, so what we are using are these ladders. So this ladder here, that's gonna be in the corner, which will lead to the bedroom on top. Now, the bathroom, unfortunately, is gonna be quite far from the bedroom. It's gonna be right off the kitchen near the entrance. Now, of course, they do not have the money to have a marble countertop, so we went with just a plain, I don't know what this is, I guess a wooden countertop. But again, as you can see, it's still looking quite modern, and they do have stainless steel appliances, so that is a plus. We added some wallpaper as well, just to make the space feel a bit more lively. I felt like it was a bit too boring if it was all white. Of course, we have to add some knickknacks because only there is not obviously enough storage in this tiny house, so some shelving is required. Now, for the dining area, this was a little bit difficult. I was trying to figure out if there was enough space to have a table with 4 chairs or where we could place them. I decided that the best solution was to go ahead and use this bar island and try to match it with the kitchen. That way they can use it for extra space for cooking or just for eating. And I put it by the kitchen, and then I was gonna have the living room in this little corner, but then I quickly realized that actually that was not the way to go. It kind of, I don't know, it felt weird. I felt like the space was too choppy. So what I ended up doing is, you'll see in a second, I moved it by the kitchen. Now, obviously, this makes the kitchen a little bit tighter, but I do think it works out better, especially if you want to use the counter for cooking. Now, as you can see, we're using some basic furniture. It doesn't look too fancy, but still looks modern and clean. So the colors we are mainly going for are these grays with hints of blue. And I really do wish, like in The Sims, where we can resize objects, that would be great, especially for carpets. But instead, what I ended up doing was just putting 2 carpets together, changing the color to this nice white to kind of brighten up the area. And we added some extra lights other than those circular ones that don't really add any character to the place. Now, of course, again, we need to add some decorations, so we added some books underneath that TV and a lot of plants to make it more lively. Now, I wanted to add a speaker, and again, I wish there was more decoration pieces to make spaces feel more homey. So I'm looking forward to see what Inzoi brings out soon, to see if there's gonna be more furniture, because that would be great. Now I'm adding a curtain, and again going for that dark blue color, so keeping it consistent all throughout. And we are now at the bathroom. So like I said, the bathroom is at the very end of this first container. It's quite small, as you can see. Even that, it might be a bit difficult to open the door slightly, but still it's okay. It's doable, you know. For a tiny house, I would say it's pretty spacious actually. So we went ahead and removed the window because I thought it was useless. It was taking just too much space in the bathroom. Added a mirror, kept it simple, made sure to match the cabinets of the sink to the kitchen, and we just have a basic shower, no space for a bath, and then just adding some decorations with some paintings. Okay, so we will now be heading towards the bedroom. Now, this bedroom is actually a pretty good size. We went for a nice warm beige color to keep it, you know, it's a bedroom, so we want to make sure it's cozy. With a basic bed, again, just went for a very basic metallic frame, nothing too fancy. Nice big mirrors and a bit of storage area for the clothes. Made sure to add a ton of lights because it felt kind of dark. And then we have some wooden end tables. And then you'll see in a second here, I didn't want to make the space feel a bit more private, given that there's no really door to create a separation between the ladder and the actual bedroom. So what I ended up doing is I added some bookshelves right next to the ladder to give that sense of kind of separation. I'm hoping we can assume that it isolates sound a bit better. Also added a nice teddy bear just because I thought it was so cute, and it just matched the vibe. Adding some more light fixtures, just to add basically some deco pieces because there's nothing else to add. Now here are those bookshelves that I was talking about, so you can see it creates a bit of a hallway that goes towards the bedroom, and made sure it matched the wardrobes. And then for the rest of this video is going to be mainly working on the front yard of the tiny house. So that will be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think of Inzoi so far. Now I know it's been about a month now that it's came out. So what do you guys think about it, and do you guys have any build ideas? So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.